the heck is this? Paging me at 5:46 in the morning, clock of dawn. Now I'm yawning, wipe the cold from my eyes. See who's this paging me and why? It's my man Pop from the barbershop. Told me he was in the gambling spot and heard the intricate plot. Now people wanna stick you like fly paper, neighbor. Slow down, love, please chill, drop the caper.
What's up, my people? Thank you for joining me on this beautiful Wednesday evening in October. First, I want to give a big shout out to my Lord and Savior. Thank you for waking me up this morning. I want to thank you for all the blessings. You know, without Him, we're nothing. With Him, we're everything. You always got to give thanks to God for that. Before I even get started talking about what I want to talk about, you know, I want to give a big shout out to my sisters, Judy, Doreen, and Jody. And big shout out to my mom. I want to give a big shout out to my sister Deborah too. You know, I have to give the woman in my family some love. You know, being born and raised in a black household with black girls and black teenagers, and eventually they became women. And I learned a lot from them. And I spent some time with them the other day. We went to a funeral uh, to celebrate the life of a beautiful black queen. Rest in peace, Miss James. Um, you know, it was a reflection of life. It was an appreciation for black women. That's why I want to give a shout out and give out some love to my siblings, Jody, Judy, and Doreen, and my mom. Of course, there's other females um, in my family, but my three other sisters that's no longer here, Rhonda, Jackie, and Shelly, I also want to give y'all love up in heaven. Thank you for watching over me. This episode is very important because it's highlighting the intelligence, the power, the integrity, the understanding of how important black women are to our society. We don't give them enough credit. And today I just want to take the time out to say spending time on Monday just chopping it up, you know, with my sisters for a couple of hours and talking to my mom, the matriarch of the family. God bless her. I left and came home and I was in a deep thought up until today. And things ain't always beautiful. in the family, and that goes across everybody's family, right? We all have our ups and downs, but you know, as you get older, you keep telling yourself, we all we got, and you try to put that negative thing to the side and try to look at the brighter side of everything. I've spent many years doing that, and on Monday I just love the pure conversation, the genuine conversation with my sister. It meant a lot to me. And in my heart, I want to keep that, because I stayed away for a while. And, they always say it takes a funeral or something bad to happen to bring your family back together, but it's only brief. I'm genuinely praying that I can bring my family back, you know, and my sisters, they all have their own personalities. They all move different. And that's a beautiful thing. So thank you to my sisters for spending that time. And I bring up them because they're black queens. And this leads me to why I'm making this video. I'll be on Facebook going back and forth with this white guy, a racist guy. I went to high school with him. And I go back and forth because, he had this hatred for Jasmine Crockett, a Democratic congresswoman, a black woman who's very articulate, very powerful when she speaks, very intelligent, and she moves with an iron fist, speaks her mind. And this guy, uh, that's on my Facebook page, and I went to high school with him. He's very disrespectful, calling her out her name and things he wouldn't say in person. A lot of these people hide behind uh, their laptops and their phones, and I call them fake, cyber thugs. So I'm very protective when it comes to that. Assata Shakur, I dedicate this episode to you. If you haven't got this book, please go out and get it. Assata Shakur. Very, very powerful uh, black woman. A revolutionary. You know. And I don't think people respect that. She died. Uh, I'm gonna start off with that. She died September 25th of this year at the age of 78 in Havana, Cuba. So rest in peace to her. I dedicate this episode to her. Who is Assata Shakur? Assata Shakur was born in 1947, um, July 16th, 1947. She was an American political activist, a revolutionary. Um, she was a member of the Black Liberation Army, Black Panther. In 1977, she was convicted of first-degree murder in New Jersey of a state trooper. You know, I'm not going to get into the whole thing about that. It was a shootout. They convicted her um, in 1977 of murdering the white state trooper in New Jersey. She wasn't too happy with it. She felt like she got railroaded. As she later speaks on about it, she speaks about it um, later on in many documentaries and even in her book that she was innocent. And in 1979, with the help of some members from the Black Liberation Army, she escaped prison. And ever since, she's been wanted by the FBI. At some point during that time, she escaped to Cuba. And she's never returned back to the United States. She lived the rest of her life as a free woman in Cuba. Very, very intelligent woman, powerful. And she stood on the principle of integrity, strength. Big shout out to Shakur, Assata Shakur. She was related to Tupac Shakur. You know, a lot of people know who that is, the famous rapper who was killed and in Las Vegas. But he was also a revolutionary. He was also about black power and black empowerment. And his parents were Black Panthers. So they were all related. Assata Shakur, who spoke with eloquence, who gave us that image and understanding of what most black women stand for. She believed in her. She believed in herself. She believed in her mission. She believed in the liberation of black people. That doesn't make her a racist. She just believed in the liberation of her people. She knew that we were being oppressed in this society in America. And that's what she fought for. That's what the Black Liberation Army fought for. The freedom, the education, to wake us up, to fight back. That's what the Black Panther Party stood for. Assata Shakur was a woman who refused to back down from the truth. She had a bounty on her head. She knew they wasn't going to capture her alive. And yet, although she knew she wasn't 100% safe in Cuba, even though they granted her asylum, she knew she wasn't safe. But she still spoke and stood by what she believed in. She still felt like she was innocent, and she still wanted black people to be liberated, even when she was in Cuba. Understanding what she was faced with, knowing that she can be killed at any time, she still gave us that black pride. She still gave us hope. Like most strong leaders, like most revolutionaries, she wasn't afraid to die for what she believed in. Very intelligent woman. Uh, I was reading something the other day that she had uh, said, and it was very powerful, you know. And I quote: "People get used to anything the less you think about your oppression, the more your tolerance for it grows. After a while, people just think oppression is the normal state of things. You know, but to become free, you have to be actually to become free. You have to be aware, and you have to be aware of being a slave. Now, I want you to think about that. We get too comfortable in our condition as black people. Oppression has become the normal state of mind. We go about our everyday life being okay with being oppressed. And a lot of us don't even recognize that we're being oppressed. And what she's saying, we have to get out that state of mind. We have to get out that slave mentality. And that's why I love her. That's why I'm dedicating this episode to her. She lived and died and what she believed in. She understood her mission. If you don't know who I'm talking about, You can go on YouTube, you can look her up, you can Google her, or you can buy this book. It's a great, great book. A lot of people don't like to read. You can go to Kindle, you can go to audio books and learn more about Assata Shakur. That's why I spoke about my siblings, my female sisters, my female siblings, my sisters, you know, my mama, because they all have their purpose. We all have our purpose, but they all have their own purpose, their own personality. But it's one thing they all have in common: that inner strength, their understanding of who they are. Whether you agree or disagree. So big shout out to all the black women out there. Big shout out to all the powerful black women who's making a difference in society, who's leading by example, who's being a role model to the other young girls out there that need that strong black woman to look up to. Because a lot of them are lost. A lot of them just reaching out, trying to find something to hold on to that's positive. To my beautiful black daughters, you are queens. You're very smart and intelligent. You have role models in front of you. You are a role model. It's in your bloodline. So big shout out to Assata Shakur. Rest easy, Queen. You will not be forgotten. I want to thank everybody that has watched My Voice, Our Agenda. If you have a mom or you have sisters or aunts or cousins that's black women or black girls, tell them you love them. Tell them you appreciate them. Let no one disrespect them or hurt them. Men, we must protect our black women, our black girls. They are the backbone of our society, our culture, our community. They are the ones that will guide us to prosperity. I said it. Black women will guide us to prosperity. I truly believe that. Assata Shakur, I love you. You will not be forgotten. My voice, our agenda. Integrity is everything. Either you have it or you don't. Y'all have a blessed evening. Thank you for watching another episode of My Voice, Our Agenda. I'm out.